So residents of Altadena are mourning the loss of more than just homes and structures. The Eaton fire has wiped away decades of rich black history and culture in Altadena, a town that became a sanctuary for black Americans fleeing the Jim Crow era segregation in the South. Thousands of families put down roots there in the 1960s, as Altadena was one of the first areas to allow black people to own homes. And now generations are devastated. Their beloved community turned to ashes.
43 this year. And so for 40 years, I'm like driving past my mother's home, which is still standing, and then getting to our home, which is gone. All of the homes between my mom's home and my home seem like they're gone. And that's where it really, really hurts. The property we lost, again, can be replaced. The memories that we have on Figueroa and Lincoln are gone. Harriet and Fair Oaks, gone. You know, but the families are still there. The community is I don't want to say unfazed, but I've gotten more phone calls from friends from 20 and 30 years ago, and we're all asking each other, what are we going to do together to rebuild this city?
1969, we moved in on Halloween.
During the era of Jim Crow, Graves and her husband Flemmy moving their family from Detroit to Altadena, the community becoming a haven where middle-class blacks could thrive for decades.
The people that were there were homeowners and hard workers.
But last week, the Eaton fire forcing Graves to evacuate, the wildfire claiming more than a dozen lives, destroying more than 8,600 structures, a significant portion owned by black families.
But I've been a strong black woman a long time, and I can't just break down now.
Public Counsel is a pro bono law firm dedicated to advancing racial and economic justice through providing direct legal services to low-income people who can't afford a lawyer and engaging in impact litigation and policy advocacy. We practice across a wide range of substantive areas like consumer rights, immigration rights, workers' rights, women and girls, small business and nonprofit advocacy, veterans' rights, and advocacy for children, youth, and families. In the wake of this devastating tragedy, it's been beautiful to see the way that our community has come together to support those who are most impacted by the LA wildfires. Public Counsel immediately pivoted to providing relief to people who have lost everything. We're providing direct legal services across a range of areas and know your rights, guides, and trainings to deliver information to people who need it most. Our staff have been staffing FEMA's disaster recovery centers, providing legal advice and assistance to small businesses, nonprofits, tenants, homeowners, and other individuals impacted by the fires. Our tenants' rights team is working with advocates and policymakers across the city to advocate for protective policies and ordinances implemented at the city and the county level to ensure that tenants continue to enjoy safe and affordable access to housing and that we don't deepen Los Angeles' homelessness crisis. We can provide legal assistance to children who have been displaced by the fires and need assistance perhaps enrolling in new schools, and special education advocacy to ensure that the special education services to which children are entitled transfer over into their new school environment. This crisis is both a sprint and a marathon. Many of the legal needs that arise for those who are impacted don't show up in the days and weeks following the immediate crisis. That's why Public Counsel is committed to be there months and years from now, meeting the needs of people who need to navigate the systems as a result of this crisis.
I urge Public Counsel to continue its work, one at a time, 5 at a time, 10 at a time. You represent a parallel institution in the great struggle for the earth that we all seek.
You plan to stay and rebuild?
Yeah, where I'm gonna go.
I would hope that the people in Altadena understand, what they have is a jewel.
This too shall pass.